of like two Uber drivers, like you're gonna be my you're my rider. You know what I'm saying? You're my like it's like people like it's all just digital. It's all online, and it's just like people just like subscribe to me now. You know, like literally at gunpoint. Like that's how bad it's gonna get.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I think there's going to be a lot of people that are doing that to make a living. The problem is, where's the money coming from? Is it going to be subscribers paying other subscribers? Is it going to be like a hierarchy, like someone who makes like $1 million a month paying someone who makes $100,000 a month who pays someone who makes $10,000 a month? Is it going to be a pyramid scheme for pussy?
Yeah, yeah. I'd almost buy a fake pussy somewhere and put it out there.
I don't think that's good enough. I think you have to have the whole body attached to it. Like, what do most girls on OnlyFans do? Do they show, like, bikini pictures? Like, what are they doing? Showing feet?
There's bikini pictures. I know that there's, like, meetups where, like, manager companies, like, have them all go to, like, a location together, like, at the beach. And then they do, like, you know, tit touching and, like, you know,
they get together
smelling each other's crotch, you know, like stuff.
Oh, and so that gets everybody excited, and then they get more like. So they have managers.
Stuff animals do, like stuff animals do before their owner pulls them away real quick.
I heard that a lot of these girls, when they're interacting with people online, they're not really doing it. But they hire a company, and then someone writes these letters. Because like, if you feel like you're gonna respond to people and text them, like how many of them are you gonna do this? Like, how many can you? How many days? How much hours in a day do you have? And if people don't know how many you're responding to or who's doing it, like if you have, like say if you have 1 million subscribers on OnlyFans and you get 100,000 messages,
yeah, you gotta do something.
Maybe they just have a person, like a service, who writes like sexy things. Like, thank you, sweetie, heart, kiss, blowing kiss, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I
you're
think
so sweet, thank you. And there's a fat guy right you know? You remember Marilyn Martinez? Did you know Marilyn Martinez? Marilyn Martinez was a comic at Friendster and very funny. And she used to do phone sex back in the day.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how she made a living when she was starting out as a comic. She would get on the phone with guys while they were jerking off. She'd talk them through it.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's gonna come to that where you're gonna have, you know, people just helping each other jerk off, and that's gonna be, you know.
I think it's going to come to the point where you can't jerk off anymore because you're not going to have any genitals. I think we're all going to slip away to neutral.
Like I was saying.
Aliens. Yeah.
Beige.
Aliens. We look at what aliens look like. What do they look like? They look like sexless, genderless things with big, giant heads.
Autism, too.
You think so?
Aliens?
Yeah.
I think they have the highest, most acute form of fucking
Alzheimer's?
autism.
Imagine that. We need to turn the power on. How rich.
They might have Alzheimer's, too, dude. They could have it all. I mean, at that point, they've
I meant
mastered the
Asperger's.
disease.
I was trying to say Asperger's, and I came up with Alzheimer's.
Well, Asperger's should have a different name, too. That is just...
Yeah, Asperger's. That's rude.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right? I wonder if it's like a doctor. Is it Dr. Asperger who figured out Asperger's?
I don't know.
Take a guess. Let's find out and take a guess.
Ron Asperger? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Like a guy out of Seattle.
I was thinking that when the Fournier's gangrene we looked up to their dad. So
Right.
unfortunate for Mr. Fournier.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So let's find out where the name...
Hans Asperger.
You hit that thing
There
one
it
more time,
is.
Joe.
Yeah, it's a dude. Hans Asperger. There it is.
Oh, it's Perger.
I don't think it was using that anyway.
Dang.
Asperger.
I've been putting meat in it.
Clean off.
I'd love to be Austrian, huh?
Austrian?
Yeah. Yeah, they just seem so pure, and they seem like outdoors. Yeah, they seem like
they hike a lot.
they're getting water for everybody.
Yeah, shorts with little socks.
The mills with the windmills
Hiking
going.
boots.
Beautiful flowers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And probably crazy sex, too. I think
You think so?
I think Austrian women.
Really?
Yeah, and you don't see them a lot in porn or anything. I think they keep it really... They're kind of like... they feel almost to me like Disney Amish, kind of.
Disney Amish.
Yeah, like kind of whimsical, but like also very like stick to an old script. Pull up some
Whoa.
damn.
Hot.
Pretty dead on with that Disney princess.
Yeah. Yeah, very Disney princess looking. All of them. Damn.
Dang, boy.
I wonder, like, what nationality is known to have the most beautiful women? Do you think there's, like, a consensus nationality that has the most beautiful women?
I don't know, but I know that I've thought
Didn't you hear?
poorly that I
Crack
spent
shot.
so much jerking off in America when you could have done it
I had my eyes
in
closed.
places.
Internationally?
Yeah.
Like, it's a small world, like the ride? Dude, why do you and I have the fucking silliest podcasts? Oh my god, I just had a great podcast with Rich from Rich Rebuilds. We were talking about cars, and then you come in here.
You started with him. I saw you talking about horse sets
I'll
out
tell you,
there.
his reaction was very different than yours.
Oh yeah, that's cool, man. I would like to get some different. I'd like to get some different hobbies and stuff like that.
Like what?
I don't know. Sometimes I thought about maybe getting into golf. Like that's one thing. Like in Nashville, it's like most people just there's just a lot of drinking and golf.
Talk to this dude. He's a golfing fool. Him
Yeah.
and Tony Hinchcliffe and Ron White.
Oh, Tony's built for it.
Built for golf?
I think so. He's just that perfect. He looks almost like Pinocchio's old, crazy brother. You know what I'm talking about? Pull him up. Pull up Tony Hinchcliffe's body.
Pull up Tony Hinchcliffe. It's probably already a comparison. Tony Hinchcliffe side by side next to Pinocchio online.
Dude, that was so much fun, man. It's
much
interesting. You guys definitely made a good case for Austin.
Yeah. We're having fun out here, man.
Yeah.
You get to see it, right?
Yeah.
And how wild are these shows? Tonight's going to be wild too, sir.
Really good.
Tonight's going to be fun.
Yeah, a lot of good comics out there. A lot of good comics on stage. Yeah, it just felt. Yeah, it's like you said, having a sense of community is
There
really
is.
important.
Look at the notebook.
But look right there with the mic at the ice house. That it's almost like his hand looks like it was pulled up by a piece of cord.
Yeah.
To the right, one more.
This
please.
never gets old.
Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like his arm is hanging from a string.
Perhaps. Fuck Geppetto.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to ask you, Joe. I feel like we covered a decent amount of stuff. Yeah.
We definitely did. You gonna move here? Thinking about it?
I thought about it. I thought about it more today. I thought about it yesterday. Yeah.
What percentage you think you're thinking
I thought 30%, which was surprising. I didn't think I would think about it that much.
about? 30%.
I'll say this. I Zillowed.
It's raining brains around here.
Zillowed last night.
Where you looking?
It's pretty pricey. Found that.
Yeah, man. Got rough here.
Yeah.
During the pandemic. Prices went way up.
Yeah, you got to have really, it's pretty pricey. But that's okay.
Anyone want some bad guts?
I got to shekel up. I got to up my shekel.
Oh, you make a good living.
Yeah, no, I do. It's been.
Did you buy in Nashville?
Yeah.
You could sell there.
It just popped clean off.
Yeah, it's already went up.
Great.
Great. Nashville's another place like Austin where a lot of people move to. But it's like a smaller city, right?
Yeah, I would say it's probably half the size. I mean, I noticed that this feels more like a city. Nashville, it's still a city, but it's different. It's a different.
I fucking love Nashville.
Yeah.
I love going there. I love doing stand up there. Fun people.
Yeah.
That's a fun town. And it's also like Austin, a town that like appreciates art, appreciates live
Ah,
performance.
great. Here comes
Oh yeah,
the
people come out all
dogs.
the time.
Yeah, it
I
just
mean-
has a smaller comedy.
Yeah, that's the tough part, and that's what I realized. It's like, get up a little more. Instead of having to go to LA to do like a month or 6 weeks at a time. I think about it.
Yeah, you can go ham. I mean, we got Cap City just opened up. We have two retailers. We have my club. And there's a bunch of satellite clubs. There's a bunch of smaller ones outside there. A lot of open mics in different places where people perform. I mean, and since the pandemic started, it's exploded. And definitely since Kill Tony moved here, and we all moved here, and Segura moved here, and Tim Dillon, and all these other folks. Duncan moved here.
So neat.
He's the best.
He's really special.
Yeah.
Did what were you talking about? Comedy,
Comedy.
moving.
Moving.
Living the fast
Zillow.
life. That's
Zillow.
the guy.
Shuckles.
Yeah.
Nope. Should we end it?
I think so. I think I have one more question. I'm trying to think what it is. Can I just have about 8 seconds
Was
to
it
think?
about, was it about the rooms? The number of rooms in the round?
No, that's good. I feel like because I feel, this is good. This is like a good consideration of if I'll come here,
Well, you could always get an apartment.
Oh, I was going to try for one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll do 1 month at an Airbnb.
That's a great move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my question. So sometimes I've had times in my life where I've thought too much about regrets and stuff in my life, right?
Yeah.
And we've talked about that some in the past, like looking in the past, right, or attaching myself to the past. Has there been anything along your journey that you've kind of regretted, and then how do you deal with regret?
I mean, individual choices and mistakes, yeah, but ultimately you learn from those. So, like, no. Because, like, even the regrets, the bad things or the stupid things, you learn not to do bad things or stupid.
Power levels critical. Imagine that. We need to turn the power on. How original. Was sweet! It just popped clean off. It's like shooting krauts in a barrel. Freak bags! Hoorah! It's raining lead on you, puss buckets!
Go to Cancun or not?
Okay.
Have you paid attention to all the luggage that gets lost now?
Oh man, yeah.
What is the increase in lost luggage over the last year? Something happened during the pandemic where they didn't work for a while, so everybody forgot how to do luggage.
Is that what you think happened?
I think there's an argument that there's incompetence, and there's an argument that they just haven't trained these people right. These people have left. I don't know what the real story is. I've heard a lot of people trying to figure out why the airlines are so bad right now
Yeah.
and what they're doing.
Do you think that governmentally run things just overall are starting to fall apart. It kind of seems like that.
Government's not good at a lot of stuff, you know, because the people working for the government,
Much of the brain.
you have kind of like a fixed amount of money you can make. Look at all that luggage that's
In
lost.
Canada, there's almost over at Heathrow Airport. There's
Didn't you hear?
This is the way the luggage is piling up at Canada's airports.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
technical issue.
I don't think it was using
Oh, it's just a
that
technical
anyway.
issue.
I don't know why we don't.
Good luck finding your bag.
We should fly FedEx. I wish FedEx flew people.
They'd be better at it.
Yeah, they just get it. Yeah, it's like they always get it there. It's like even if it's a day late or whatever it is, FedEx always gets it there. I feel
I'm
like.
sure you lose some things with FedEx, but I don't hear about a lot.
And
being
you
lost.
are?
But you hear about a lot being lost with this fucking with airlines.
Fleshless sack maggot.
Yeah, even people. I mean, people aren't disappearing, but they're not getting where they need to go.
Get the idea yet?
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
heard about a little kid that was traveling to see his parents, and they canceled the second leg of his flight without letting his parents know.
Oh.
Because he was stuck at the airport at 10.
And they'll probably sign a book
Man's
deal with
best
him.
friend? I don't think so.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, now he's got a podcast.
Yeah.
Stuck at the airport. Hey, my name's Tommy. I'm at the airport. I'm with my parents are. I don't even have a phone.
Dude, a buddy of mine met a girl on a flight, right? The flight never took off. They didn't get off the plane. The girl's like, you can come stay at my place. He goes to her place, and it's her grandmother's place, and they slept in the same bed as her grandmother. They didn't even get to make out or anything.
They slept in the same bed as a grandmother. Why wouldn't you just sleep on the floor?
I-
Like, I'm good. Can you just give me a blanket?
Yeah, I would, but they were of a different ethnicity, and so I think it was like he was
More
trying
common?
to more honorable. Yeah,
Oh, I see.
like this is how we do it. This is my granddaughter. She sleeps. You know, it's like this is how we do it here. Everybody sleeps in the bed.
But does he spoon with his daughter, or does the grandmother sleep in the middle?
I think he was just. You know, I think he was no.
Chopsticks.
yeah, totally.
Stiff as a board. Don't move. Don't get a hard on.
That's the way I
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, that hard on.
That sounds like a porno, right?
Don't wait.
sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
That sounds like a porn. There's porns like that. I've seen porns like that where like
Don't wake the bunny or whatever.
a guy is in bed and then like the stepdaughter comes in and fucks him like while he's asleep.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, like the wife.
Someone needs to clean up those
You know,
freak
porn.
Hoorah, freak sack.
Her eyes closed, and she's not really asleep. And the fake stepdaughter is fucking the guy right next to her.
Oh yeah.
It's always like naughty stuff. There's a lot of naughty. Like the one thing that picked up big time during the pandemic was like stepbrother, stepsister porn, where they were pretending it's a stepbrother or a stepsister because people got like stuck in houses together.
well, do you? Oh, I never even thought about that. Do you
Yeah.
think that they were leading people to fuck? Huh?
Well, I think they were like capitalizing on fantasies that people would have if they were stuck in a house with their family. So like say if your dad remarries, like you're 17 and your dad remarries this new woman. This woman has a 18-year-old daughter, and you're stuck in this house with this girl who's now your sister, but she's not really your sister.
I feel like I'm gonna drive her to school, and they're like, "School's closed. Like we're gonna drive by and check."
And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. I want to know how well would you take care of your car if you had to keep it your entire life? Would you polish it? Would you tune it? Would you put a glaze on it, a gloss, a wax? I bet you would. Well, that's how brains work. We got to keep them for the long haul. So why don't we take better care of them? How we care for our minds affects how we experience life. And BetterHelp online therapy can help you take care of your brain. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. I was struggling one day and I was driving somewhere, and I pulled over and bam, I was better helping myself right there with a certified therapist. It's more affordable than in-person therapy. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/THEO. That's betterhelp.com/Theo. You know, you want to get out sometimes and you want to get across the ocean. Maybe you do a plane, maybe you do a ship, or whatever. Or something, maybe you just Evel Knievel your whole family out of a dang cannon. But when you get to a new land, you want to be able to speak their language, don't you? Well, Babbel can help. Babbel is the language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions. Thanks to Babbel's addictively fun and easy bite-sized language lessons, there's still time to learn a new language before you reach your destination. With Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson, so you can start having real-life conversations in less than 3 weeks. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages. That's correct, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel right now. Save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/Theo. That's babbel.com/THEO for up to 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life.
People, do you think more people are related than we realize? That there's more, that's sometimes why people get like born with certain deficiencies and stuff like that, like Down syndrome and all that, because more Down syndrome because more people related.
I don't know what causes that, but I would imagine that if you do have sex with people you're related to, what are the odds that, like, how high do the odds increase if you have sex with your cousin versus how high do the odds increase if you have sex with, like, your sister? If you create a child that has a deformity.
Ooh, I bet 40%. Can you bring it up, Jamie?
I bet it's very. Let's Google first cousin. How dangerous is it breeding with your first cousin?
Bags get the idea yet?
Tempt you. I rolled that in front of you to see how you feel. It seems like there's an unlimited amount of nicotine in this thing too. It's very confusing.
It makes
It's
my
a
lips.
bottomless pit.
Sometimes it makes my lips hot, and I can't taste water if I drink it.
Okay, having a baby with a first cousin more than doubles the risk of congenital problems such as heart and lung defects, cleft palates, and extra fingers, according to the largest study ever held in the UK.
Yeah, they used to call that cleft palate by us. They call it cousin lip. People had it.
2 to 3% chance the child is born with a birth defect, genetic syndrome, or disability. Now, what about sisters, brothers and sisters? Let's take a guess.
And a lot of times this used to happen, Joe, because people didn't have the ability to travel far. So even if you went, 2,000 yards or 8,000 yards, you were still, over time, people were still related, even if they didn't realize it.
Well, that's one of the concerns about that place, North Central Island, that island of uncontacted people. There's only 39 of them.
Yeah, you were talking about.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about that. Oh, about the Bible guy.
Yeah. That's that place is. There's only 39 of them. They have to be.
What's kind of interesting about looking for this? Google doesn't really want to show me what I'm looking for. It's only bringing up animal inbreeding.
See, that's crazy.
Wow. So Google will let you look up what it's like to fuck your cousin, but don't get crazy.
Yeah, I even specifically said like sibling incest, and it's just showing animals.
Oh, wow. Well, go to DuckDuckGo. Oh, genetic risks of 2 siblings having a child together. Here it goes. Look at that. A curious adult from Texas asks. Is that us?
Yeah.
The future crime people have caught it. Incest laws seem to be socially rather than genetically based, but I'm guessing there are biological consequences too. So what are the exact genetic risks of 2 siblings having a child together?
Get down to it.
Okay, you're probably right. 2 siblings have kids together have a higher risk of passing on a recessive disease to their kids. Okay, what is the number though? They don't want to tell you. Okay, here it goes. If a brother and sister are both carriers or have a child together, each of their children would have a 1 in 4 chance of ending up with CF. Is that cystic fibrosis?
Yeah.
by getting a diseased copy of CFTR from each parent. So the odds of this brother and sister having a child with the disease is 1 out of 4 or 1 in 16. Now,
I'm gonna say don't risk it.
It's like shooting crabs in a barrel.
Dude, they used to say about us, if you rearrange the letters of sister, what does it spell? Resist. And I never forgot that.
that's good. That's smart.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was helpful.
Hey, someone needs to clean up those freak bits.
So I had a question, like, so you know, like how golf, like the PGA started doing like the live, you know, like they have people leaving the PGA
Yeah.
because this big money organization came in and is paying the best golfers. Could something like that ever happen to the UFC? Do you feel like?
That's an interesting question. They've tried to do that before. Affliction came along before, and they got Fedor, and they got Tim Sylvia, and Andrei Arlovsky. There was a lot of like big name fighters that went over to Affliction and fought for them, but they went under after a few events. It's hard doing something like the UFC. First of all, the UFC is so firmly established. It would be like trying to create a new NBA. It's like maybe you could do it, but you need a lot of money. Fortunately for this live golf thing, it's run by the Saudis, and they obviously have insane amounts of money. But even so, people have passed on it because they don't want to be associated with the Saudis.
But do you think, like, if they start to see that template work, and we don't really know if it's going to work yet? I mean, they're just, you know, it's just started.
It really depends on how much money they throw at them and how long they continue to do it. They have so much money. They have so much money.
We can't even imagine.
I don't think we can imagine. Because you're talking about trillions of dollars. You're talking about billions. I think they could just keep that ball rolling. If they decide to do that, they may be able to have like a real rival. But right now, this is the first year. Is that correct, Jimmy? You're a
They're
golf
in
guy.
The first year, second event has been completed. Third, 8 events in the
And what does the vibe feel like out there as somebody who pays attention to golf and stuff? Does it feel like it's...
It's they don't have a TV deal, so it's all being broadcast differently. And I would guess that this is a play to get a TV deal. There are still people. They just got a big announcer that went over from I think NBC. He's been a long time, 25-year plus guy.
Who's that?
His name's David Faraday. He's got a really like well-known voice for the
For golf?
yeah.
Now, is there a stigma attached to this? Are these guys getting like
Yeah, there is.
outcast
Sure, but they don't seem to mind that
because the money's so great?
because the money is really great. They don't have to play golf every week like they had to.
Oh, so with the PGA.
Yeah,
Right, and like, who's the one guy? Phil Mickelson, is that his name?
biggest one getting roasted.
And apparently he's not playing good.
That's the other interesting thing. They're getting prepaid money. So they don't, it's not performance-based. There is performance-based money that can come if they win. There's more money to win in a tournament, but
So there's less incentive, you think?
they have like I read a 4.5-year contract right now that most of these guys have, bearing levels of money, 6 figures for some of them.
Only 6 figures.
Sorry. On top of another.
It's okay, man. I'm nervous, too.
A
Hundreds
billion?
of millions of dollars
Hundreds of millions.
for some people. Yeah.
So for them, they feel like, fuck, this is my ticket out. I could retire.
Yeah.
So fuck it. Fuck all the stigma. Yeah.
And the argument against it is really that they're not going to be playing traditionally what everyone's been playing for over their careers of like, I don't
The big tournaments that everybody's accustomed to. But they don't have a TV deal right now.
right. It's just on YouTube and their website.
But man, YouTube is so big.
Yeah, but for golf, though, I feel like a lot of people, there's something about, I feel like I see my stepdad watches it on TV, you know, it's
Right.
a Sunday
It's a
afternoon.
TV thing.
There's a
Yeah.
tradition about that I feel like is really baked into golf.
Could be
Maybe.
useful
I don't
if
know
we can
enough
link
about
'em up.
golf.
Yeah, me neither.
But to answer your question, yeah, somebody could come along and do something like that. It's possible. You'd have to throw a lot of money.
Oh, this is gonna turn
And
into
you'd-
red mess.
You'd have to get guys that are out of their contract, right? You'd have to,
Yeah. You'd have to get guys that are out of their contract or get guys that are on the come up, you know, that like right about to break into the UFC and get them before they, you know, because there's a lot of like really talented guys that are coming up.
yeah.
There's a company called ONE FC that is based out of Asia,
Jaw sauce
and
coming up.
they put on some killer fucking shows. And I watched some of their fighters and some of their fights, and man, these guys are world-class killers. They're really good. They easily could be fighting in the UFC, many of them. And then many UFC guys like Mighty Mouse and Eddie Alvarez. There's quite a few guys have gone over there, and they're competing now in ONE FC.
Oh, they're
So
gonna love this.
that's like a viable alternative for some people who don't want to compete in UFC anymore, or maybe they have a more lucrative deal for ONE FC, but it's not in the public zeitgeist the way UFC is. Like, you tell people, like, oh, I was watching ONE FC. They're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, they think something's wrong with you.
Right, but you say UFC, it's like Q-tips, you know? It's like everybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah. NBA. Everybody knows the NBA. Everybody knows the NFL.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the UFC.
The brand is just, I mean,
Yeah.
the brand is strong. I mean, I think the UFC, the fact that it performed, it showed up every few weeks during the pandemic was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That
Well-
brought I feel like it had to bring so many fans. That's when I became like, this is my favorite sport. I didn't realize it, but after like a certain month, I was like, oh wow, this is my favorite sport.
Well, once they started doing those events, when everything else was shut down, it opened up a lot of people's eyes to like what could be possible. And so then the NBA started doing events, and all these other sports organizations started doing events with no audience.
Yeah.
You know, didn't they have baseball games with no audience?
Yeah. I think the Dodgers won the World Series with no audience.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
have empty seats, man. Don't lie to me. I mean, I know you're lying to me.
Dempsey's Butcher Shop.
You've worked so long at UFC. Do you feel like that? And I've watched your pace over there. I remember when I did a show with you in Atlanta, and then we did a show the night before. Then I was sitting behind you, and so like you guys are commentating, and then you go right up into the ring, and you come right back down, and you commentate again. I mean, it was like watching like it just seemed like a lot. Like, this is a lot, you know, like you have to have a real pace for it.
It's
know?
a real job.
Yeah.
You have to have energy for sure.
It blew my mind.
Yeah, it's like, and you're doing it for 6 hours. When I sit down for 6 hours, and I try not to pee, which is lucky that I have a good experience doing the podcast, because I'm used to like holding my piss for 3 hours, but that's about my limit. So I always have to pee at least once or twice.
Ride that
during the
bag,
event.
baby. You know I like riding that bag.
Sometimes. Also, I'm drinking like Monster Energy drinks sometimes, which are like piss magnets.
Yeah.
They're delicious, but they make you want to pee.
Make you want to beat your wife, too, dude. I've seen a lot of dudes drinking Monster that you know they're going home to punch.
I don't know if the Monster is the cause of it. I think there's probably other factors.
Well, I'll say this. It's the beverage of choice of some of those gentlemen.
Freaking sweet.
I'll say that. Do you
I
think...
thought it was rock stars.
Maybe it used to be. Do you think you'll always work there? Do you ever... I mean, you've done it for a long time, you know? Do you think... I mean, I guess nothing can be forever, but do you think you'll always commentate for UFC?
I enjoy it. I enjoy the sport, but I enjoy watching it too. You know, when it came to Austin, it was the first time in 20 years that I sat in the audience and I watched it. It was great. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Just no responsibility, just being able to watch. I want to go to more of them that I'm not going to, like at the Apex Center. Those are great.
Oh, in Vegas?
Yeah, it's a small arena, a small octagon, and you know, you're right there, man, right there with the action.
When you started, do you feel like, did y'all have such a strong commentating team? I mean, now it's like...
Well, it's stronger now than ever. Yeah, it's stronger now than... John Anik is the fucking man. He's great, and Daniel Cormier's the fucking man, and, you know, when I get to do it with Dominic Cruz or, you know, anybody else that, you know, I think Paul Felder's fucking great. It's amazing. It's a beautiful job, and I love DC. Like, when me and DC hang out and have fun, it's just like, he's such a great guy, and he knows so much about the sport. You know, 2-division world champion and great wrestler, and just a dude who likes to have fun. Like, we laugh a lot, and it's a great job, man. I love it. I look forward to it every time. I look forward to it this weekend. I'm doing this weekend in Dallas. I'm pumped.
Oh, nice. I don't know who's fighting on that one.
It's Amanda Nunes.
Two?
Yeah, versus Juliana Pena.
Dude, I was at the first one.
Yes. Who knows what's happening in that rematch?
And Halle Berry was there at the first one, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
Halle Berry's a big fan. She's there all the time.
Yeah, that
She
was
loves
cool.
the sport.
Yeah, Jared Leto was there. He's neat.
He's always there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. It's always, I mean, it's exciting, man. You know who's a big fan of it now? Mark Zuckerberg. He's a big fan of MMA.
Really?
Yeah. He loves it. He got, like, super addicted to it. He's training now He's doing jiu-jitsu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
They should make him fight other owners of things.
Who do you think he would fight? Bezos? Bezos a
No.
little older. Kind of cruel to make him fight Bezos. He might fuck Bezos up.
Who could he get in against? Somebody
I
that...
put all my money on Elon. You teach
Really?
Elon martial arts? Yeah, he'd figure out a way to fuck you up.
Yeah. He's efficient. He just had like 9 kids in a month, I heard on Twitter. How fucking efficient is that?
I think he's doing it through in vitro fertilization.
I'm sure.
He jerks off into a FedEx tube and mails it to these ladies.
I've thought about that. I've thought about having a kid via like a machine or something, you know?
You think that's the way to do it?
I think, because I was thinking about having a child with a friend of mine.
A
And
guy or a girl?
A woman.
Okay.
Damn,
Just checking.
bruh.
I just want to let you know what you can and can't do.
Yeah, Google what's the percentage of...
Dudes who can get pregnant. But you'll get confused now. Like, how many men can get pregnant? All of them. They'll say all of them.
Yeah.
Today, you know, no one knows what to say.
But I think
is
those
it a
men are
man
trying
or
to-
is it a woman?
Those men are trying to trick other men to busting in them all the time.
I think we're talking about trans men. That's what they're talking about.
Oh, I see where they put the ovaries into a man.
No. Like a biological female becomes a man. Trans men.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when they said, can men get pregnant? People say yes. And you're like, okay, I want off.
Yeah.
I want off this planet. I can't take your fucking confusing reality.
But do you think ever that Mother Nature has a plan, a bigger plan, where in the end it all ends up that we're like trans, like Ben Simmons is, like all like crossed? You know what
Ben
I'm
Simmons?
Ben Simmons is like a Mick. He's a black and I think he's black and white, right? He played at LSU. He's a great basketball player.
What does it have to do with his sexuality?
But he's beige. You know what I'm saying? He's beige. Does it? You know what I'm saying? Does it end? Because there we go.
What the fuck? He's probably like, what the fuck, man? I'm a man. Leave me alone, bitch.
But if he put a
Keep me
wig
out
on,
of here. No.
if he put a wig on and shaved, I'm
With
just saying.
those fucking arms and hands?
Yeah.
If you get tricked by that guy,
then you want to.
yeah, you want to get tricked. You're trying to get tricked. You're like, trick me. Trick me, Ben Simmons. That's a fucking manly man. The size of his fucking hands. Go back to that picture. Bro, that guy's jacked. If you think that's a woman, I mean, maybe he is now. I don't know. I don't want to
No,
hurt
he's
anybody's
not.
feelings.
No.
He's 6'11". He's giant.
Go Tigers, man. He was an LSU Tiger. But what I'm saying is,
What are you saying?
here's what I'm saying, man. I can't believe you guys can't understand me.
I do understand what you're saying. I'm just fucking around.
Okay. And I'm just
I
fucking around
understand
too.
what you're
Okay. Let me hit that thing again. Okay.
I
I'm
think
just saying, if we're sending somebody in, if the trans community is gonna send somebody in to fucking vouch for them, they need to send in a fucking warrior. You know, they can't send
now
in.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
I thought I knew what you were saying.
I
But now I'm
switched.
confused.
I switched to a new idea.
Okay.
What I was saying is, do you think we all end the same skin color and in some sort of a trans sexual type of situation?
I think it's very possible that we all become genderless. Yes, I do think that's possible. Yeah. I think that might be what is happening with like microplastics or changing people's hormone systems. I don't know if you know about all that. Do you know about all that?
You know I don't know about it. I mean, I appreciate it, though.
There's a book called
Thank you.
Countdown.
That was nice of you.
By a woman. Her name is Dr. Shanna Swan, and she came on the podcast and she explained that there's certain chemicals that are in plastics and in some fertilizers that are disrupting the human body endocrine system. And it's causing people's penises to shrink, balls to shrink, sperm counts are lowering. And one of the ways they find out about this is the size of people's taint. Yes, in male mammals, the taint is 50 to 100% larger than female mammals. So like when they pick up a gerbil, that's how they can quickly tell whether or not it's a boy or a girl. It's by the size of the taint. And when the introduction of phthalates, it starts with P, P-T-H-A-L-A-T-E-S, I think it's how you spell it. You say phthalates, and phthalates are a type of chemical that disrupts the human body, and because of the use of petrochemical products, the increase of phthalates into the human body from contamination has caused people's taints to shrink, balls to shrink, dicks to shrink, sperm counts to drop, and miscarriages to go up. and they think that if you think about that, like that is like causing gender to just kind of compress and to become like more ambiguous. And in the future, if that continues to happen, what does that mean? Like, what do we become genderless? And then what do we do to try to keep the human race alive? Well, we may revert to genetic engineering, like some sort of a medical technological intervention, so we breed from like splicing genes.
So we get enough males and we get enough females.
Yeah, and that has always been what's crazy about this. Although this sounds nuts, we're talking about it now. For decades, people that have been abducted by aliens have always said that aliens are performing experiments and making hybrids with human beings because their genetic material has run stale, because they're breeding, or they're rather reproducing through genetic manipulation rather than through sex, because they don't have sexual intercourse anymore.
So they need our eggs and sperm.
Yeah, they need all that stuff. They need our material. But because they don't have that anymore. So that might be where all biological creatures that develop technology, and technology in our case involves a lot of plastic. The more technology, the more plastic. The more plastic in the bodies, the more the bodies become genderless. Why?
And since there's plastic in our water, like little molecules and stuff, does that affect us too, do you think?
Yes, it definitely does. Yeah, we found a statistic that's a little misleading. But the statistic is every week the average person consumes a credit card sized piece of plastic through microplastics. Yeah,
That's a lot.
but then Jamie found out that the way they calculate that is like worst case scenario.
Like some dude who really likes, sucks on the bottle.
A lot of like bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of like chewing on vibrators.
Or chewing on, chew it like that dog we saw the other day.
Yeah.
So let me think. I had a couple more questions for you. Is that all right?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Becoming like a celebrity in America, right? Like, I know you don't think of yourself maybe as that way, right? But you become real popular. Is it hard to keep it from like affecting your family and kids and stuff? Does that ever get like scary and stuff?
It definitely will affect everyone around you, and it affects people in a weird way where like people like contact family members and ask for things, which is like weird. And it's not, like want to meet. Like I've had people contact my family members to ask me to introduce them to people I don't even know. Like as if there's some like sort of celebrity network that you become a part of. You get a card. Like, hey man, you got 15 million Instagram followers. Here's your card. Just call everybody on the list. And, you can hook up your friend with Marky Mark.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And does it get scary having kids that are like, does that get scary at all? Like,
all of it is scary. Yeah. It's scary. It's weird. Like having that many people. Like I get a lot of people contacting me saying they have chips. Chip in their brain. Not just one, multiple people.
I used to have a woman like that who was coming to my shows in Texas, dude, and her chip kept telling him to fuck me, dude. That's the crazy part.
Did she listen?
I just sent her away like so many times. Said,
Was she hot?
She was hot too.
Damn, and why'd you say no?
Because I just thought it was like a scam or something. I thought it was like some kind of a setup or something, Like I just got scared because that's scary when somebody tells you that.
You got to think of that too. Imagine if you're a guy and you're worried that every girl you meet is trying to set you up. Like if you're some oligarch type dude and every woman you meet like or might be someone who's like trying to get information like some Russian spy. You're trying to quit and
Oh, even if I ejaculate, dude, I don't have I'm doing okay. But I'll even walk out of the room backwards, just to make sure, like.
How does that help?
Just so I can see if anybody's using any of the seed, if there's any loose in the room.
Doesn't Drake pour hot sauce into his condom?
Story that went around.
So he's got like a little bottle of Tabasco by the bed.
Look, Dustin Poirier needs to step his advertising up. That's
His
all
hot
I'm
sauce
saying.
is excellent. Dustin has excellent hot sauce. It's very good.
It is good.
It's very delicious. They got vinegar-based Louisiana hot sauce.
Kinda, it's hot enough, but it's nothing crazy.
Tasty. Very good. What is it called? Like We'll find it. Jim will figure it out. But he sent me a case of it. It's fucking very good.
Good.
Yeah,
I'll put it in a salad, too.
I'm not even gonna ask you for more. I'm gonna buy it myself. Poirier's Louisiana-style hot sauce. You buy it on Amazon.
And look
Or
at him, dude, having fun. with it.
Heatonist. Yeah, there it is. It's good too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
when someone makes something like that that's good, I appreciate that. That's a legit hot sauce. Dustin has some really good hot sauce.
Yeah, good
He's
stuff.
a good dude too. I like him a lot.
Yeah, Dustin's neat, man. He's really, really funny, too.
He's a fun dude. He's a fun dude to hang out with.
And he likes to cook, too. Do you think that Nate Diaz fight is just like do you think he's going to care about it? Is that impossible for him not to care about it? Versus
Hamzat Chimaev?
Yeah.
I mean, he has to care about it. Hamzat is a fucking assassin. Hamzat is a terrifying human being. He's terrifying. He's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really good and really big.
I get scared at home.
You should.
Yeah. And that's how it is.
Yeah. Hamzat's a murderer. I mean, when he gets into that octagon, he's seek and destroy. He's a dangerous man.
Do you think that it's just a setup fight for not like it's like because I know he's trying to get out of his contract? Do you think that, or do you think
Nate asked for that fight.
Oh, he did.
That's what Nate wanted to fight Francis Ngannou.
Oh, damn! I
Nate
didn't know that.
Nate is as game as a human being has ever been.
Wow.
That dude is wild. I mean, that's one of the things that Dana White said. They were like saying, "Why'd you do this fight?" He's like, "That's the fight Nate wanted." He goes, by the way, Nate asked for Francis Ngannou.
That'd been awesome.
Well, no,
Yeah, you're right.
no.
I mean, but you know what? There would have been something exciting about it.
Yeah, murder. Yeah, something exciting when Francis Ngannou, a natural 270-pound man who hits harder than any human being who's ever been recorded. You're the hardest punch ever recorded.
Well,
Francis is terrifying.
I think Nate could take him, dude. I think
You think so?
I don't know. I don't know. Nate just never ends, bro. He
I
can't.
hope you're never a bookmaker.
Yeah, no, that's true. I hope so too.
There's certain things that you just can't. There's certain physical attributes and advantages you cannot overcome. It's not saying that Nate isn't an amazing fighter. Nate is an amazing fighter and has been for a long time. I mean, you can go way back. Nate has been submitting and beating people for a long fucking time. He's a tough motherfucker. He's gigantic. Francis is gigantic.
Why do you think gigantic people come out of that?
Well, I mean, gigantic people come out of Iceland. Gigantic people come out of areas where gigantic people met and bred. You know, and Francis's father was huge, and I don't know how big his mother was. You know, there's a lot of giant people in the world. And when they find other giant people and they fuck, they make big humans.
Dude, they should. That'd be an OnlyFans right there. Giant people fucking.
Yeah, big giant people fucking. I bet. I bet people would love that. If those are OnlyFans where you only got together with other giant people and fucked,
I'd watch that.
and then have a little person in the room watch it. Do you go on OnlyFans at all?
No, I logged on one night and then I logged off. You know, I'm trying to stay off of masturbation, stay off of touching my own wings. Yeah, I don't need to do it. I'm doing cool. You know, I feel better when I don't do it.
Masturbation or pornography?
Well, yeah, pornography I think is nice to stay away from. We talked about this before because my thought was just that and you said it's fine. It's just people that abuse it, you know. So I think like I don't like to have those thoughts in my head. It keeps me thinking too much sexual side and not enough like connection side.
Right. That's the number one criticism of people who watch pornography. Is that it needs to be sexual instead of
Yeah. And if I want to have a family and stuff, I have to have more like, you know, real intrinsic kind of romantic connection thoughts. And I have to be able to not control my own brain, but let my nature come through that way.
Not think like, I want to recreate some shit I saw on film.
Right. Or I won't even think that way, but like your subconscious just it remembers this stuff, you know, it kind of mills around in there, just kind of loiters around your brain and dick a little.
How many girls have started to make a living off of OnlyFans now that would just normally have a job and never get paid the same amount of money?
Well, it's one of the reasons why we're not seeing that many hot chicks working at Chipotle, I think.
Is that what it is?
Heck,
The OnlyFans?
I think it's definitely.
But how do they get an audience? Like just because you're hot and you show your asshole.
They bait through their Instagram. Yeah. Dude, you know no two
right?
assholes are the same. Is that true?
I'm sure it's like a fingerprint. We're gonna use that from now on. It's like your retina scan.
That's how you get into Dan Bilzerian's house.
I mean, if you really think about how many girls are making like stupendous amounts of money on OnlyFans.
Oh, it's baffling. But do you also think, Joe, that
Whoa, OnlyFans is over 1 million creators. So, well, let's imagine that's worldwide. Up from 70,000 in 2019. So all those people jumped on board during the pandemic. That makes sense?
this is what I start to worry about? That it's going to be like what is this called, a gig economy? No, what is it? Okay.
No, gig economy is like Uber. Right?
Okay.
Would you think of OnlyFans? Does that count? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Do you think it's
But
going to...
Cameo.
Yeah, it's very
I watched some cameos the other day. It was sad.
I got one from Nick Nolte about some dogs at Christmas. I made him make like a video for some puppies that I never
Nick Nolte does cameos?
I didn't have, yeah. Hey, Cinnamon and Whisker. Dad loves you. Yeah, I gotta find it.
Nick Nolte's on Cameo? How is it? Is that
Oh
weird?
no, Gary. Who's the other guy that looks like Nick Nolte?
Gary Busey?
Gary Busey.
Okay, that makes sense. They look very different.
Hey, Cinnamon and Whisker. Dad's home.
Gary Busey was a great actor who got in a horrible motorcycle accident without a helmet. Okay, play some.
Do that anyway. Wonder Woman.
Horse got my thoughts, got my love. See to you, with a cameo. Oh yeah. You send me what you want me to tell you, and I'll tell you better than you can.
I love that. Doesn't that make you feel good though? Did you feel good when you did it?
No. No, it made me think you should wear a helmet.
Oh, you think people are taking advantage of him?
No, that's what happened. He got in a motorcycle accident without a helmet back when LA didn't have a helmet law. And he crashed his motorcycle and bounced his fucking head off a curb. And got serious brain damage. Like,
sounds funny,
so you can pull that up. I want to say that was from like the early 2000s. He had a serious. That's why one of his eyes looks different than the other one.
Yeah. Because they remade it.
His fucking skull got crushed.
Shouldn't these guys be on a leash?
In 1988, the actor, then 44, had just picked up his Harley Davidson from a shop when he tried to maneuver around a bus and accidentally turned too hard, started skidding, and hit his back brake, causing him to fly over his windshield and land directly on his helmetless head. Yeah. So that is when things went sour.
And his hair still looks good, which is
He's
crazy.
got great
huh?
hair. He's got great hair, but I had that scar over there to stitch his head back together again. I think.
That's unbelievable.
Not good.
This,
Yeah.
Well, this is my question then. Do you think it's going to get to a point, right, where if we start losing jobs, right, and there's less jobs and more people are on like OnlyFans, right, that you're basically going to have chicks out there, like literally women holding each other at gunpoint, like, you know, subscribe to my pussy, stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know what he's saying.
you know, help. Jamie, can you pull up some help? I need some help, man. I always have this vision of like two Uber drivers, like you're gonna be my you're my ride, or you know what I'm saying? You're my like
Wonder Woman.
like it's like people like it's all just digital, it's all online, and it's just like people just like subscribe to me now, you know, like literally at gunpoint. Like that's how bad it's gonna be.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I think there's going to be a lot of people that are doing that to make a living. The problem is, where's the money coming from? Is it going to be subscribers paying other subscribers? Is it going to be like a hierarchy, like someone who makes like $1 million a month paying someone who makes $100,000 a month who pays someone who makes $10,000 a month? Is it going to be a pyramid scheme for pussy?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd almost get buy a fake pussy somewhere and put it out there.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's good enough. I think you have to have the whole body attached to it. Like, what do most girls on OnlyFans do? Do they show, like, bikini pictures? Like, what are they doing? Showing feet?
There's bikini pictures. I know that there's like meetups where like manager companies like have them all go to like a location together, like at the beach, and then they do like, you know, tit touching and like, you know,
They get together.
smelling each other's crotch, you know, like stuff.
Oh, and so that gets everybody excited, and then they get more like. So they have
Stuff
managers.
animals do, like stuff animals do before their owner pulls them away real quick.
I heard that a lot of these girls, when they're interacting with people online, they're not really doing it. That they hire a company, and then someone writes these letters. Because like, if you feel like you're gonna respond to people and text them, like how many of them are you gonna do this to? Like how many can you? How many days? I mean, how much hours in the day do you have? And if people don't know how many you're responding to or who's doing it, like if you have, like say if you have 1 million subscribers on OnlyFans, you get 100,000 messages a month.
Yeah, you gotta know.
Maybe they just have a person, like a service, who writes like sexy things, like "Thank you, sweetie," heart, kiss, blowing kiss, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
you're
think-
so sweet, thank you. And there's a fat guy like you know? Do you remember Marilyn Martinez? Do you know Marilyn Martinez? Marilyn Martinez was a comic at the Comedy Store, and very funny. And she used to do phone sex back in the day.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how she made a living when she was starting out as a comic. She would get on the phone with guys while they were jerking off. She'd talk them through it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's gonna come to that where you're gonna just have, you know, people just helping each other jerk off, and that's gonna be, you know.
I think it's going to come to the point where you can't jerk off anymore because you're not going to have any genitals. I think we're all going to slip away to neutral.
Like I was saying.
Aliens. Yeah.
Aliens.
We look at what aliens look like. What do they look like? They look like sexless, genderless things with big giant heads.
Autism too.
You think so? Yeah.
I think they have the highest, most acute form of fucking
Alzheimer's.
autism. They might have Alzheimer's too. They could have it all. I mean, that's one of the names of the disease.
I'm trying to say Asperger's. I came up with Alzheimer's.
Well, Asperger's should have a different name too. It's just
I got Asperger's. That's rude.
that's a lot.
Right? I wonder if it's like a doctor. Is it Dr. Asperger who figured out Asperger's?
I don't know.
Take a guess. Let's find out and take a guess.
Ron Asperger? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Like a guy out of Seattle.
Not from California, gangrene.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So let's find out where the name.
Hit that thing
There
one
it
time,
is.
sir.
That's a good There it is.
Oh, it's Perger.
Asperger. Asperger.
Someone put meat in it. I'd love to be Austrian, huh? Yeah, they just seem so pure and they seem like outdoors. Yeah, they seem like
hike a lot.
they're getting water for everybody.
Yeah, short reach, little socks.
The mills with the windmills going.
Hiking boots.
Beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
And probably crazy sets too. I think
so?
I think Austrian women.
Really?
Yeah, and you don't see them a lot in porn or anything. I think they keep it really. They're kind of like. They feel almost to me like Disney Amish kind of.
Disney Amish.
Yeah, like kind of whimsical, but like also very like
Think so.
stick to an old script. Pull up some.
Yeah. Yeah, very Disney princess looking. All of them.
Dang,
I wonder like what nationality is known to have the most beautiful women. Do you think there's like a consensus nationality that has the most beautiful women?
I don't know, but I know that I've thought poorly that I spent so much jerking off in America when you could have done it in places.
Internationally?
Yeah.
Like it's a small world like the ride? Dude, why do you and I have the fucking silliest podcast? Oh my god, I just had a great podcast with Rich from Rich Rebuilds. We were talking about cars and then you came in here.
You started with him. I saw you talking about horse sex.
His reaction is very different than yours.
Oh yeah, that's cool, man. I would like to get some different. I'd like to get some different hobbies and stuff like that. I don't know. Sometimes I thought about maybe getting into golf. Like that's one thing. Like in Nashville, it's like most people just drink. There's just a lot of drinking and golf.
talk to this dude. He's a golfing fool. Him and Tony Hinchcliffe and Ron White.
Oh, Tony's built for it.
Built for golf?
I think so. He's just that perfect. He looks almost like Pinocchio, crazy brother. You know what I'm talking about? Pull him up. Pull up Tony Hinchcliffe's body.
Pull up Tony Hinchcliffe. It's probably already a comparison. Tony Hinchcliffe side by side next to Pinocchio.
Dude, that was so much fun, man. It's interesting. You guys definitely made a good case for Austin.
Yeah. We're having fun out here, man.
Yeah.
You get to see it, right?
Yeah.
And how wild are these shows? Tonight's going to be wild, too, so
It's really good.
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, a lot of good comics out there. A lot of good comics on stage. Yeah, just felt, like you said, having a sense of community is really important. But look right there with the mic at the Ice House. That is it's almost like his hand looks like it was pulled up by a piece of cord.
Yeah.
To the right, one more piece.
Yeah, it looks like his arm is hanging from a string.
Fuck Geppetto.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to ask you, Joe. I think we covered a decent amount of stuff. You know?
We definitely did.
I thought about it more today. I thought about it yesterday. Yeah.
What percentage you think?
I thought 30%, which is surprising. I didn't think I would think about it that much. I'll say this. As Zillow. It's pretty pricey. Around that.
Yeah, got rough here. Prices went way up.
Yeah, you gotta have really, it's pretty pricey. But that's okay. I gotta up my shekels,
Oh,
man.
you make a good living.
Yeah, no, I did.
Did you buy in Nashville?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's already went up.
great. Nashville's another place like Austin. A lot of people move. But it's like a smaller city, right?
Yeah, I would say it's probably half the size. I mean, I noticed that this feels more like a city. Nashville, it's still a city, but it's different. It's a different.
I fucking love it. I love doing it. I love doing it.
Yeah.
That's a fun town. And it's also, like Austin, a town that, like, appreciates art. Appreciates life.
Oh yeah, people come out all the time.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
just has a smaller comedy.
yeah, that fits up well, and that's what I realized. It was like, if I can get up a little more, you know, instead of having to go to LA to do like a month or 6 weeks at a time. So, I think it's pretty fun.
I mean, we got Cap City just opened up. We have the Vulcan. We have Creek in the Cave. We got My Club is going to open. And there's a bunch of satellite rooms, a bunch of smaller rooms that are outside the area. A lot of open mics in different places where people perform. I mean, and since the pandemic started, it's exploded. And definitely since Kill Tony moved here, and we all moved here, and Segura moved here, and Tim Dillon, and all these other folks. Duncan moved here. You know,
I love Duncan. He's so neat.
he's the best.
He's really special.
Yeah.
I was wondering what I asked you about that.
How the hell does it do that anyway?
What were you talking about? Hello?
Shekels.
Yeah.
Nope. Should we end it?
So I think I have one more question. I'm trying to think what it is. We just have about 8 seconds to go.
Is it about the rooms, the number of rooms in there?
No, that's good. I feel like because I feel, this is good. This is like a good consideration of if I'll come here.
We could always get an apartment.
Oh, I was gonna try for one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll do 1 month at an Airbnb.
That's a That's a great move. Yeah.
This is my question. So sometimes I've had times in my life where I've thought too much about regrets and stuff in my life, right?
Yeah.
And we've talked about that some in the past, like looking in the past too much, right?
Right,
Or
right.
attaching myself to the past. Has there been anything along your journey that you've kind of regretted? And then how do you deal with regret?
I mean, individual choices and mistakes, yeah, but ultimately we learn from them. So, no. Because, even the regrets, the bad things, or the stupid things, learning not to do bad things. All those things are beneficial in some way if you get through it. If you're like, did something that resulted in death or something horrible like that, yeah, it'd be terrible. But I've been very fortunate that hasn't happened. But the dumb shit that I've done or the bad mistakes that I've made, they've taught me. You learn. Like, that's why failure is so important. Like, failing and fucking up and making mistakes, very important. That's how you learn. The bad feeling that you get from something that you shouldn't have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better, like especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a fucking loser. Like, that just teaches you. To get your shit together.
Well, you have such a good ability to learn from those things. Some people, I think, kind of it's just like it gets repetitive for some people.
That's dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous to dwell on past mistakes because people sort of define themselves by the worst moments that they've ever had. And if that's the case, like some people are stuck in high school. They're stuck in failures that they had like when they were first getting jobs. And they always think that they're a loser, and they don't like the feeling of failure, so they keep low expectations so they never have to feel that. You gotta get through it. You gotta get through bad feelings. You gotta get through failure. It's very important. And you get through it by just picking yourself back up and moving forward and going. But it's hard for a lot of people because that sting, they never get over it, that feeling of failure. And they don't have a good support system, like good friends. Like having a good community of friends is very, very important because you could feel like if you've been, a girl broke up with you, and you feel like you're the worst. You're a fucking loser. Like you're a piece of shit. But then you go out with your friends and you have a few laughs, and next thing you know, you're laughing, and you're like, I'm all right. We'll be fine. And then maybe you meet a new lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she like picks you up, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be okay. And then you learn from the last one.
Yeah.
That's life. It's just those feelings of failure are so hard. They're so hard to get over, and they overwhelm people. And some people can't get past them. And then every time some new thing comes up, and you have to rise to the occasion, you have to perform. I'm a loser, I can't do this. I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fuck up. Like bombing. Like how many times have you had a bad set, and you're like, God, I can't do this. I suck at comedy. That's just it. I just suck. And then you define yourself. You gotta get over it.
Yeah, I do notice, thankfully, you never have too bad in a row either.
Well, you learn from that one, and you like coming out guns blazing for the next show.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it actually makes some senses in you. Did you feel like you learned that from somebody, or did you always just have that kind of intuition?
I think I learned it from martial arts. You either quit fighting, or you learn how to get a lot better. And you learn from those mistakes. You learn, maybe you're stationary too much, or maybe you telegraph too much, or maybe you got tired, you haven't been doing your cardio. Those failures that you have from martial arts are so consequential. Like you physically get punched, and then you don't want that to happen again. So you got to either quit or get way better.
And that's great for a lot of my listeners. A lot of guys, are just, a lot of guys just trying to keep going in their lives.
With everybody, my listeners, your listeners, anybody who's listening, people out there.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many self-help books. That's why there's so many motivational documentaries and motivational Instagram pages. It's because people need stuff. They need something. And generally, the best version of it is coming from someone who's experienced fuck-ups and got through it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You're like kind of like a library. I was thinking about the other day. In a weird way, you're like kind of like a library. That's interesting. Because you just have all this information that's passed through you, and you're able to you're almost like a cleaners at the cleaners. If you ask a question, then it goes and gets the information and brings it to the front, and it's like wrapped up. It's cool. It's a nice skill, man. Because I was even listening to an old episode of ours, and there was information and kind of suggestions and guidance you shared with me in there that were still resonating with me today. So it's pretty cool. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate your time, dude.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh, but when I reach that ground, I'll share this peace of mind I found. I can feel it in my bones.
Some tour dates to announce. If you want to come see the Return of the Rat tour, we'll be in Louisville, Kentucky, January 25th and 26th. Indianapolis, Indiana, January 27th and 28th. Shreveport, Louisiana, February 1 and 2. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, February 3 through 5. Corpus Christi, Texas, March 24. Houston,